when you grew up, right? I was born in '99, so my favorite network to watch was Cartoon Network. Of
Yeah,
course,
I watched a lot of Cartoon Networks.
But did you ever watch or Disney movies and Disney shows? But did you ever watch Courage the Cowardly Dog?
Yes, that show was so good. That show was so good.
You don't think it was scary? Be honest, you don't think it was scary?
Scary?
Or like kind of like, dude, some of the episodes when I was a kid, I was like, yo, what's going on? Like,
I never thought it was like scary.
No?
I just know.
Or creepy?
Creepy in some way, cause also like not gonna lie, the whole the art style.
Mm-hmm.
I guess like as a kid.
Like think about it, right?
you
Like
can
some
see,
of the
like,
because the way I think about it is Courage the Cowardly Dog, the pink dog. You know what I mean?
Purple, bruh.
Pink/purple.
It's purple.
Pink/purple.
It's
Agree,
purple.
disagree. But anyways, essentially like the whole show is just him taking care of his two owners.
Yeah.
Fighting against like creatures and stuff like that, right? So there's a theory about that. So the theory goes, so the show is, they're saying that the theory is based on the true story.
Is this your story?
A true story. Just give me a second. So Eustace, right? The guy that wears the hat all the time.
Oh yeah.
And then Miriam, right?
Yeah.
So the characters from the Cartoon Network show is based on two people, right? They're called William and Margaret. And there were a couple that went missing March 6th, 1957 in New Mexico. And I think it was close to the border too. And it has been nearly 70 years and it is still a cold case. No bodies, no nothing. Right? But before they disappeared, they reported seeing, or they kept seeing, when they reported to the police, they kept seeing shadows or like creatures, which
that's pretty
matches with what's going on in the show. What does the show do? Or the main show about, like the dog protecting the owners, like I just said, about creatures or skinwalker or just weird figures, you know what I mean, trying to harm them. You know what I mean? But in the cartoon show, it's a dog, but in real life, it's a cat. So they had a cat. So they had a cat. And bro, when I tell you, their house looks exactly like the house.
Really?
Almost to a T. I'll show you. So almost to a T, right? And if you look at the house, it looks almost identical.
It
in
does.
The middle of nowhere.
It really does.
And then if you think about it, like, if there's something going on there, the cops are not going to get there. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like in the middle of nowhere.
You're in the middle of nowhere. How do you know they have service? And then, mind you, this is like in the 90s, 80s, 50s, yeah. Like, you don't know, like, you know, what their service or who you gonna call? The sheriff in town? Oh, yeah, man, we're going to be there in 30 minutes. Like, no. And so, this is kind of, because, I'm scared of the show, so, it's kind of sketchy. So, like I said, a lot of people think they were either, like, abducted by, like, aliens. Because you know how it's New Mexico, you know how there's a lot of UFOs, I just know that. And like I said, it's in the middle of nowhere. And a lot of people are saying that they were abducted by, like, the UFOs. Or, hear me out. So, back in those times, there was a well-known serial K, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to say it because, I'm not trying to get banned,
So,
a serial K. Right? And then, so during that time, this serial K, like his peak era, not peak era, but like peak of like, doing harm to people and unfortunately unaliving them in New Mexico. His name was actually David Parker. So David Parker was also called, because you know how usually the serial killers usually have like a nickname or something like that. So his nickname was the Toy Box.
The Toy Box?
Unfortunately, the Toy Box. So
what name is that?
I know, right? The Toy Box. But unfortunately, like he mostly focused on like females. But every now and then he will have like male victims. But like they were saying how a lot of his victims, their bodies or their remains were never found. And that he lived only like 3 hours from where they lived, the couple. Right? Oh, and then also when they reported to the cops about seeing creatures or skinwalkers, whatever they were seeing, a week after that, that's when they disappeared.
Damn.
So if you think about it, maybe like, think about it, right? If you're like a serial, okay, you're so used to maybe like going houses, like in the city, but then you see a house in the middle of nowhere, you might be like, oh, that's a
Yeah.
easy target. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Like easy to do. And also, if you think about it, if you never reach the authorities and it happens, and they just say, unfortunately, he got to them, like he will have hella time to like dispose of the evidence, the bodies, stuff like that. Because I guess when they disappeared, they disappeared without a trace. Like there was nothing in the house. I think they were saying no blood, no nothing. But they were saying that it might be him because he was only 3 hours from the house from where they lived, and they lived in the middle of nowhere, and that when they were reporting those like noises and seeing those shadows, figures, and all that, that he was like at the top of like his game, like he was like doing it like every week or something like that.
So he was like stalking them basically.
We don't know.
Watching them?
We don't know. We don't no, the people think that it might be him who like because during the 1950s he was like he wasn't caught yet, but he was like you know how they give him a nickname, the box killer. And he was very like in the news during those, because you know how like when there's a serial killer on the loose, they be like, hey yo, watch out, cause don't go out this weekend, cause you know the guy might get you, the toy box guy would get you, and all that. And so he was well known, like, you know, top of his game during those years. So that's why we're saying maybe it connects, and maybe he got to them, unfortunately. Or the UFOs. Or
what do you think it is like?
I mean, it makes sense if you think about it.
It does kind of make sense, yeah.
A serial killer during those times, you're in the middle of nowhere. If you're not armed, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You're a cat. But also, like, back to the cartoon show, like, I don't know, man. Like, that show is really kind of giving me nightmares, to be honest.
Really?
Well, some of the episodes were like a zombie or like weird stuff,
Yeah,
like weird
stuff.
or like like I don't know if you remember this episode. Do you remember the diner one, where like the pig is a diner, the pig is a chef, and they were feeding human burgers?
Wait,
you didn't know that? Oh,
dude, I watched the show when like I was like 7.
Okay, so
like how am I supposed to remember?
Quick recap, right? So I think it was the guy and the dog, Courage the dog, and then the guy with the hat, right?
Yeah.
They go to the diner because they're hungry. And I don't know if you remember the truck. Do you
Yeah,
remember the truck?
I think,
The old ass truck.
Yeah.
They pull up to the diner, and they're eating, right? And then, because you know how his owner's always mean, the male guy, he's always mean to him. And then, but Courage is always like, I don't know, man. He's always like nervous or aware. He's always aware of surroundings. Yeah. And so there was a guy, I think it was a businessman or something like that. He had a suitcase, I think. And then the chef was a pig, right? It's already sus. But the pig was like giving off like bad vibes. Mm-hmm. And then I forgot, but somehow the guy went to the bathroom, or he went to like the back closet or something like that, and he never came back. And then every time he was serving burgers, that's good, huh? Like he was like, I was like, what the hell? Like, and then they come and find out, I think it was human burgers they were eating. But I don't know, stuff like that, man. Just like,
that's pretty weird. Low-key, I don't remember that episode. But
no,
the show was really good. Like,
no, the show was for sure good.
Yeah, it was
and it went on for a while too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what do you think happened?
Low-key, both theories, like,
they make sense.
They make sense, because like, especially in the show, like the couple had like the whole strange like things that they saw and that happened to them. So it kind of makes sense that they were, and then how they reported like they were seeing stuff before. So it kind of makes sense if it was
and also
something
if you think about it, like
supernatural
in certain states like that, because you know how like the whole Native American, like, you know how back in the day they have like ceremonials. Also, like, I don't know if you know this, but like when they bury, like back in the day when they bury like the Navajo or like Native American cemeteries, if you like mess with them or stuff like that, they're very like spiritual, like bad vibes, like skinwalkers and all that come out supposedly. And I don't know, maybe they run into, because you know the area is like just desert. You don't know what happened like in the early 50s, 60s, and 70s and all that. So I don't know, who knows. But UFO, nah, not that. But I did the serial killer guy. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's more realistic than like aliens.
Oh yeah, aliens are real, by guys. Aliens are real. Aliens are real.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much the Courage the Cowardly Dog theory.